Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having the opportunity to speak to you all. And of course, I hope you're all doing very well. Today, I would like to give you an update on the industry trends, and in particular out of the strategy, but more importantly, to provide you with some insights on how the pandemic situation has changed things for all of us, which includes some sharing some best practices we see internationally. You hear us talk about the macro trends, which are still valid and still active. Market demand focuses us to produce different things, innovate and make them smarter, to support the digital transformation of our customers and trends like personalization and mass customization. The things we produce have to be produced differently. Otherwise, we can't execute on the market demands and not establish ourselves as the agile business partner to our customers. But we also need to do this to execute on our own digital transformation, to still be competitive in the future and to secure our margins. And last, the future of work, the way we are going to work now and in the future, hit us all by a surprise, and in a very different and then expected way. No doubt, the future of work in the factories will be more collaborative between robots and human beings, but for the moment, maybe most of us work from home in virtual environments. We still need to produce more, but with less negative impact to the world, by also dealing with less qualified workers, producing less waste. That's actually a fundamental capacity issue. One of the biggest opportunities also in design and manufacturing, the opportunity of doing better. One of our customers, Ørsted, the leading energy provider in Denmark, changed completely from fossil energy to green energy and was recently awarded as the most sustainable company in the world. Mr. Paulsen said, our old business model based on fossil fuels had to be replaced by a new model that was environmentally and also financially sustainable. Investors, employees recognized and valued their transformation. So we reached a new area, the new area of the new possible. A huge amount of organizations were just not ready to have their workers work from remote. Mindset, policies, processes, and systems had to be adjusted to make this work as countries are facing lockdowns. Global travel slowed down, and the most of us experience at least an interesting mix between their private and their business life. But after some struggle in the beginning, it worked. And research shows when things are better, we will not go back to the used old. We will travel less, work more remotely, and adapt modern technology earlier. And even in difficult times, our customers do achieve amazing results. Congratulations to Transmesh Holding for winning the Red Dot Design Award this year in 2020. I'm sure you will hear more about Transmesh Holding in details later in the future. But I also want to express my thanks to Point, who is just an outstanding partner to Transmesh Holding, helping to drive customer business initiatives with impact and achieving business impact. What we see in the area of new possible are three big themes, which I would like to talk about a bit. Number one is automation. You heard already a bit about that. Second is collaboration. And last is the topic around convergence. Let's start with automation. Working for a software company, it's clear that we are convinced that automation can help us overcome some of the capacity gaps we talked earlier, giving us time to be creative and innovative. But there's much more. We now realized that we haven't really done our homework and finished our job digitizing our operations. An example I experienced personally. Orders can't be shipped because people are not willing to come to the factory. And orders may depend on a single machine operator just not showing up. As we removed slack in operations and supply chain, as we follow Kaizen methodology and push for just-in-time delivery, we also now realize that it came with some disadvantages too. There are no buffers. There's no alternative sourcing. Sourcing nowadays deals with much more suppliers, smaller quantities from all over different regions. As it takes a while to ramp up classical volume production and achieve somewhat a normal performance in the global transportation markets. We just lost predictability in our business. To overcome this, we need agility and flexibility in our processes. Thanks to our investment in the cloud infrastructure and the cloud products, we are able to help our customers in these days. Just another data point. This is SAP talking about automation, and you see different industries look into eliminating waste and eliminating repetitive tasks to be much more profitable and more agile. To focus on higher value tasks, they can charge a margin for and differentiate on. But also here, one thing has changed. As cash is king, customers are not investing anymore in fancy technologies, Eiffel Towers. They are looking for a very pragmatic approach, not anymore the big transformation taking ages. Instead, more the incremental approach. And again, remember, we lost business predictability. Therefore, we just can't plan out that long anymore. Especially this pragmatic approach with business impact is the strength of Autodesk and the ecosystem. Speaking about pragmatic, on the factory business, we partnered with a company called ProModel, which allows you now to add statistical scenarios, modelings, as well as providing you much more other factory-related capabilities. We are now getting close to the big systems in that space, but without requiring an expert team of professionals and PhDs. Here in this scenario, we explore what is it we have to do to increase our production by 30%. Here, where's the bottleneck? Do we need new machines? Do we need new workers? How much of both? We can explore different options and bring back the results into our factory planning with Inventor and AutoCAD. Please keep in mind, missing predictability of business, that's the reason why the monolithic other systems struggle to support you. A good example here is social distancing in the factory. Using Navisworks capabilities as a part of the collection, you can get very quickly an understanding on what it is which is going on and what it is need to be looked at. Here's another example from Autodesk Vault, using automation technology to identify duplicate parts to help to reduce the engineering times. But more importantly, to reduce the items and complexity on the shop floor or in service. Often, even when parts are geometrically the same, they carry different part numbers. This results in more setup time in production, lower efficiency of the machines, lower utilization, and more not necessary spare parts. Autodesk Vault addresses this, reducing your cost in operations, and helps you improving the cost and turnaround time in service. Here you see a scenario on the shop floor. You remember the order which couldn't be shipped I talked earlier? There's a lot of manual processes we need to digitize more, which makes us talk about what we call the convergence of design and make. Knowing the impact of manufacturing and manufacturability already in engineering and accommodate for that upfront. That's what we are tackling with our Fusion 360 platform. Customers are trying to eliminate dependencies, e.g., for example, from a machine operator, the capabilities and capacities through automation. You see an automated measuring process on the right side with an adjusting machine procedure, resulting in overall production time much better as we take out the repetitive task of positioning the parts, resulting into higher quality, less dependency on workers' knowledge, and companies use that to digitize their knowledge, thanks to Autodesk Make capabilities. Another amazing story of automation I like to share with you is the Museum of the Future in Dubai. That's a project we talked about in the past. An amazing BIM project with lots of panels and equipment, which is very common, custom. And the interesting story, Alan, to the right, and his team was in charge to engineer the sprinkler system of the Museum of the Future. 1,400 sprinklers. Every design change from the architect was about to cost him 350 engineering hours. 350 hours he wouldn't get paid for. Using design automation and Autodesk Forge platform, he automated the dimensioning of the sprinkler system, the positioning, the quantity takeoff, the compliance checks, and now the complete model is up to date in 50 minutes after a design change from the architect. That results into hundreds of free capacity hours in engineering, where he now can do much more motivational work, have fun, and more importantly, get really paid for. It's also resulting in a much better value-oriented collaboration with his customers. So let's talk a little bit about collaboration and convergence. Here, I would like to show an investment area of us to better collaborate between the AEC community, the architects, and the building product companies on the manufacturing side, the suppliers for the building. You can see an associative access between the BIM model and the mechanical engineer. Again, this is also to better collaborate as things are changing often and design costs, quantities, production schedules will have to accommodate as well. Taking out non-value added tasks and the synchronization between both parties, which is currently extremely time consuming. Now, here I'm proving to you the associativity. When you have a change on the BIM side, all the engineering will change in Inventor. This includes production drawing, documentation, simulations, and you may have set up certain certifications through simulation, or even CAD programs and CAM programs for machining. And all this collaboration can happen through our project platform called BIM 360, meaning you don't have to call your customers to request and convert files. Updated documentation can be made available back to your customer, allowing him to work with actual and correct information for his planning. But collaboration and conversion doesn't stop here. Using the Autodesk Construction Cloud, we can break down BIM and planning information accordingly to a discipline or even according to the scope of work for a particular supplier. Especially for capital-intensive projects, CapEx projects in the process industry, that's really, really cool. As you don't have to filter the BIM model over and over again. You just condition it once in so-called work packages. By selecting the information, for example, for steel construction, and your vendor will automatically stay up to date with the right model data for better project execution. We also see manufacturing companies leveraging the capabilities to deal with prerequisites for their machine installations or shipments. This is a different form of, if you want, a personalized digital twin, the portion of the digital twin which is relevant for you as a supplier. We know that the project execution is a very big topic for our manufacturing customers, and we are helping them, for example, to better plan their digital construction sites upfront as a part of the digital transformation process. Representative for lots of customers, I like what Liebherr talks about. You have quite some capabilities in the collection today to better plan upfront, to better collaborate, to better react and respond. You have the tool set to protect your project margin. And you have an excellent partner, Point Russia, next to you to help you do exactly that. The Autodesk Pro Forum is really a great opportunity to learn about best practices and possibilities. It will be you. You will make the difference in your organization. You are surrounded by peers with similar challenges. You are surrounded by experts who can help you. Please use the opportunity to collaborate. Please use this also as a starting point to work with a positive attitude towards the new possible. Better starts here, and it starts now. With that, thank you very much for having me talk the keynote. I will be available also in a separate virtual room if you have any questions, and we can have some more deep dives. Thank you very much. Enjoy your next session at Autodesk Pro Forum, and looking forward to continuous conversation with you guys. Stay healthy.